Welcome back to the second part of round one of the 2021 Discers for Whiskers, brought to you by the Cheyenne Animal Shelter. They've been putting this tournament on for a while, trying to make some money for all the good work they do with the animals here in the local community. And it's been
I know I love animals, so I definitely am glad to see them.
And they put on a good tournament every year too.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. I enjoy it. So we got Coda Turner here, my
Hello.
co-commentator. I'm Dale Ryden, by the way. That was a great putt. And then Jared Hylander, he's out of Laramie. He's sitting at even for the round so far. I believe you were at 2 down? Four down.
Four for
Four
me.
down.
And Josiah here is at 3 down, right on my heels.
Right on your heels.
These are some really good highlight putts you got there, Dale.
Yeah. He's out of... Josiah here is out of Wellington. And then we have Dean Suedmeier. Suedmeier. Cannot get that right. He's sitting at 2 down.
Out
He's
of Hannah,
right,
Wyoming.
Yeah, out of Hannah, Wyoming. He's right on Josiah's heels.
He had a bit of a slow start, but he was really kind of turned on here toward the end of that first half.
He'd be right there with you if he hadn't had that rocky start. So here's hole 14. It's, to me, kind of a sidearm hole.
Mostly because that tree on the right there gives a really low ceiling on the right-hand side.
Yeah, you really have to kind of turn one around that branch or go right under it. And if you're just a little high, the right under it just gets swatted down.
See, I like to go straight at it with a putter.
And that's always a good choice when you have that straight at it shot. Looks like you got a little bit of flip so that you could get a little more left and kind of avoid the lowest part of the branch. Looks like Josiah's eyeing up the same shot, kind of. And that'll work just
really
fine.
Good spot.
Sometimes those bushes, if they let you through, they can really kind of block you up, though. I've seen a lot of... and there's that just a little too high shot. So he's left himself a little bit of work here, and he's still jump putting at the hole. So that kind of tells you how short this one really is.
That was a great upshot from where he was. Good scramble.
Dean left himself... Oh! Right over the bushes and almost in.
That was great.
You left yourself in the perfect spot.
Yeah, always afraid to go right into the bushes on the right.
Yeah, that's the worst possible place you can be. It's almost impossible to save par even from there.
Josiah also had a really good drive with a simple, easy birdie.
Dean will clean up his par.
And so will Jared. That was a great upshot from where he was.
Yeah. Yep. And that one is a pretty easy hole. About 50-50. That's about right. 'Cause it's easy to get caught up.
It only averaged 0.17 under par, and I think the big thing about that is there is a lot of foliage, bushes, and trees everywhere on that hole.
There
you
sure
miss your
is.
line, and it can really eat you. But there wasn't any bogeys that round.
That's always good, because like I said, if you get on the wrong side of those bushes to the right of it, which you kind of see here on the right of this hole as well, which is why there's a mando. You have to go left of those trees right at the opening there. That should be in good shape.
Left yourself past all the branches.
Probably right around, maybe a little inside the circle.
Josiah pulls that over a little hard. But he gets through everything.
How did he get
beautiful.
through all that? That's just amazing. I've seen a few do that, but it's so rare you don't expect it. You definitely don't play for it.
The team's lining up this sidearm here, which is a really good shot shape for this hole.
Just a little low, maybe a little too turned over. So Jared's lining up that sidearm as well. See if he can get a little bit more air under it. You have those branches there on the left that you don't want to get it too high.
He tempted him, and ooh,
and wow.
That was beautiful. Oh,
Stop rolling now, though.
Went a bit more deep than he would have
I
wanted.
think the wind might be picking up a little more. Sometimes it doesn't want to let those rolls lay down.
Good upshot.
Yep, that's a good approach. So Jared left himself pretty long putt actually for his par. Oh, just a little short. Had a good line on it.
That was for his birdie.
Oh, that was for his birdie. That's my fault. I was thinking of Dean, I guess, that came up short, right?
Another low putt for me.
Okay. Dean did leave himself. It's probably, I don't know, 20, 25 feet there.
And that's a good putt. It's kind of the landing zone I end up shooting for, too, and that's why I end up hitting the cage, because I'm aiming to just creep right above it.
Right.
Nice birdie from Josiah.
I still look at all that. How did he get through
Even he's
all
looking
that?
back saying, how?
Definitely not what you're expecting to see when you pull it right over there.
You know, at 285, it seems like you should just be birdieing this all the time, but birdies feel really good on this hole.
It's actually a pretty tricky hole. You kind of have low branches on the tee box, on that left side at least.
Yep.
And then you definitely have low branches to contend with up by the basket.
And that birdie brings Josiah tied with me at 5 under.
All right. So hole 16, it's one of our longer holes, but this one plays downhill, so I'd say it actually only plays like around 380.
Definitely attackable for most of the guys on this card right now.
And that branch that you see there, that's
roll.
a great shot. But that branch there is the one you want to avoid on this hyzer throw.
Just get just before it or go all the way around it.
Yep, you definitely don't want to be blocked by it because there's not much through it. That'll put you in really good position for your birdie there. It's like Dean's going sidearm. This is a pretty long sidearm, but it's
also really
there.
open on that left-hand side. Just
It's
doesn't
like
quite
he'll
get
come
the
up a
distance.
little short, but he's far enough to the left that he's got that window you can see in it. Jared's lining up the hyzer. He's definitely got the power to get there. That looked really overstable, though.
Seems like he punched through most of it, though.
Okay, so that was a good approach shot by Dean there. That little hyzer around.
Jared looks like he's getting to a knee to get underneath some branches and give himself a shot.
Oh, that's a tricky one. Here's for your birdie. Nice birdie. That's another one that definitely feels good to get.
Yep, and then Josiah, just surgical with that one. Keeping even with me. Good
Jared cleaning up that
That was a
par.
good scramble
That was
from where he
nice.
was.
Yeah. Dean should be able to do the same. And you know, as soon as they're walking off of this tee, they're thinking, oh crap, now it's the island.
Yep, the treacherous Romero Island. It's a very awkward shape, so from the tee pad, it's really hard to tell, you know, if you're on the island or not from your drive. And then there's a fast green all around the basket as well, so half the time you hit the island, you flare and jump right off it again.
You almost want to just spike down on it so it doesn't hop back off. Oh, and that's a little right and low. Yep, that one never had a chance.
And I did rule it during the players' meeting that touching the rocks is safe.
So the outside of the rocks was the line, basically,
Yeah.
then. Okay. That's good to know. is definitely one that can kind of boost your spirits or
sometimes you can get enough
drain
of a
them
flare
too.
on that you do end up hitting the island. Some people just go for that flare shot.
Right.
So they mitigate the skip off the island.
That's not a bad option.
Ooh, I tried to crawl its way out.
Yeah, those rocks saved him a little right there. So yeah, if you miss the island, you go to this drop zone here. Oh man, that was such a good bid from Josiah there. Let's see if Dean can correct on that and put this in there. Scary part is if you sail it, just trying to ram it in there, you can end up out of bounds again.
Yep.
Looks like you were on the wrong side of the bush,
Yeah.
but at least on the island.
I just pitched out, took my 3. It's really uncommon to see a 3 on this hole.
Right, it's usually either a 2 or a 4.
Josiah almost got a 3 the other way. That was a really good putt on his part. But Jared taking the solo birdie.
Yeah, like you said, this is an awkward shaped island. It can actually be pretty tough to hit. This is one of the holes that actually played over par. It was a third of a stroke over par on the day on this hole. Or on the round. So that birdie was getting
holes on the course.
Strokes on the division. There.
Yeah, there were some worse than bogeys on that hole.
Like I said, if you're running that putt, that can happen real fast too.
And now we have hole 18. It's pretty wide open. There is a pole right in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, right where you want to throw.
You know, you're going left or right. And there's a creek that comes in toward the basket on the right-hand side. This hyzering out like that is tempting that creek. But I believe it's safe.
Yeah, it looks like he should be right at the base of that hill. That was a really good sidearm throw.
There are a lot of plays on this hole. You can go hyzer, you can go straight at it, you can go sidearm.
I believe that was an origin you threw?
That was an origin. I just hyzered it a bit too much, and it flipped up for me. It just didn't quite get more than flat.
Sometimes it can be tough to put enough anhyzers like that. If it doesn't stop turning...
I don't know what that is Josiah's throwing there, but he's been throwing it a lot during this tournament.
Well, and it must be pretty stable, because he came over the top on that pretty hard.
Yes, sir.
Dean going with the sidearm. That's looking really good. Okay, a little wide. Roll on in there.
That's looking good.
That's a good
look. It's inside the circle.
This elevated basket, nothing's a gimme, but that's a great look. Oh, wow, that was a good shot.
I wanted it. It's scary to run that putt with the water right behind it down that hill, but...
Well, and even if you don't get to the water, you can get blocked where you don't have a putt from halfway down that hill on the other side.
Gust just got in Dean's head a little bit there, and he sawed that putt off just a little bit. Jared taking another one on the card.
He's definitely getting a little bit of heat into his round here.
Well, actually, Josiah also birdied that.
Oh, yeah, that was a great turnover shot.
Such a committed and just trusting throw.
Ooh,
almost got thrown off by a 4 being called on the next hole.
And it sounded like a train whistle. Alright, so 2 2s, 2 3s. That's pretty good for that hole, actually. That one being that close to that tree and the creek, it can play pretty tough.
And you'd be surprised how many drives that light pole hits.
Yeah.
It just eats them.
Yes, it does. Like I said, it's almost right in the line you want to throw for that
hole
distance.
Hole 1 is only 230 feet, but it dishes out more bogeys than any sub 250 hole I've ever seen. This creek really kind of comes up real quick behind the basket. The field actually destroyed this hole today, but that's, at least during this round, the nice conditions definitely helped with that. And
that's what you want to do.
Yep.
That was perfect. There's not many that actually stop on that hill. If it's rolling down the hill like that, it usually just goes till it hits
That
water.
little bit of tall grass they saved around those rough areas saves so many just slightly errant drives from rolling into that water.
That was a good throw from Josiah, but I'm not sure I like where he ended up. Oh, and just a little
Oh, be
long.
at the bridge.
But that's a pretty easy 3 there. No real harm. It's almost a better call. Just run it, and if you
take that circle 3.
Yeah, take that circle 3 or a 1. Those are your options then.
There's a smart play from Dean, just laying that up. There's OB in that little pit there as well.
Ooh, and
Josiah almost
Josiah
rolled
gave
into
that
it.
a heck of a run. That's such a hard one to get yourself to actually give it a good run like that. That water is so
Thankfully, I'll
close.
take my par save out of that and walk away without a bogey. And then Jared with this perfect drive. Oh, after Dean. After Dean taps his par in.
Everybody taps their par in,
That
then
is
Jared can tap in his
pretty
birdie.
astounding turkey from Jared there, and he has
Yeah.
turned this around 100%.
And if there's a turkey to be had, that's a good one to get, because, man, those ones can really eat you up if you're not careful.
Now, this is a pin position that hasn't been actually played on this course in probably like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it doesn't go here very often.
Collar.
Oh,
Lawnmower took
okay.
the collar out a long time ago, so we hadn't been able to put it here. And so this was a much more difficult 315 when you're just not used to this shot.
Well, and you really do kind of have to get under some stuff. Over and then under. It's kind of an awkward one. This is a nice looking
opting
shot.
for a nice flip up. Landing it around the same spot.
Yeah, looked like maybe a little shorter than Jared was.
Oh, they have pt2. Ooh.
Just didn't quite
Little bit of a
turn in
counter
like you
skip
needed,
there.
but that's still in good shape. So Dean has a nice sidearm. Let's see how it works for him here.
Similar plays from all of us.
Yeah,
Similar
a little
distance for our
short.
putts.
Little short, little left, but you're staying away from the parking lot that way, so that's probably a good thing, actually. Well, and I guess yours was actually a little long, huh? It just kind of left.
Yeah, and that counter skip kind of pushed me away from the basket.
Yeah. Oh, good bid, though. Josiah. Oh,
another
just
good bid.
another one, just
And let's
a
see if
hair
Jared
low.
can knock another birdie in there. He's pretty close. He's in the circle for sure.
Definitely nice when you can get that 4 in a row.
Oh,
Not gonna happen, though. It was a good comeback putt.
that's it's going to be a par frame for the card there. No damage, nothing super too great, you know. This hole averaged .25 under par. No bogeys this round at all on the field, and just a few birdies thrown in there.
That's kind of surprising that nobody found the parking lot, because that'd lead to a bogey so fast.
And that's probably why so many parred it, is they were playing so safe out
Right,
left.
staying way out there to the left. You're probably right.
Now we're going to the first of the 4 temporary holes they set up for Discers for Whiskers each year. It's slightly different from the previous years, but it's a lot of fun playing out in this park area. There's some new shots, some new boundaries to work with.
Yeah, it's always kind of nice when they're able to bring in these holes. It's always fun to have something that you're not...
Jared has a pretty good shot there. He might have that last pine tree to putt around.
Yeah, this one, it really comes close, because the sidewalk and beyond was out of bounds, so it's hard to bring yourself to throw that hyzer out wide like you kind of need to.
I'm throwing an origin on hyzer here and just kind of trusting it, hoping it's going to come back.
Which it does.
And all of us kind of end in that spot. All three of us so far have ended with that last tree to have to putt around and contend with.
With it being a temporary hole, you always have that issue of you don't truly know how far it is. You haven't kind of developed a feel for the distance of the hole.
That was a good up from Dean.
Yeah, taking the fear of the bogey out of play. Oh, and that was not what you were looking for,
No.
what he was looking for.
He's still going to have a straddle from there.
It's like you're straddling pretty far.
Smack!
A little low, but when you're leaning out that far, sometimes that happens.
Jared with another birdie. He's just knocking him down right now.
He's just trying to show what the High Plains Club can do, I guess. Josiah going with another turbo. Oh, that was so close. That would have been nice.
A little bit of frustration tap, and on to the next one. The next one is one you want to attack.
Yeah, this is one that you definitely are not happy if you're not getting this birdie.
One bogue, one bird, and two pars. That's seems about right for that hole. It did average slightly under. I think Josiah may have one of two bogeys on the day.
Right.
The rest of us were getting those pars pretty consistently.
It's probably another one everybody played pretty far to the left,
Just playing it
actually,
safe,
just
and then
staying
pitching
away
up for
from
your
OB.
par. And Josiah, he just clipped that one branch on that approach, you know.
So yeah, this one's just pretty much throw it straight down there, and you don't need a lot.
And don't go deep, because it's really easy to go deep. And that's OB
Ooh.
back there. That tree just saved him from the
Yeah,
OB.
he just got kicked back in. So that's kind of my play. You definitely have a couple of trees to contend with, but that was well thrown. If it hadn't hit that tree, I think you'd have been right there by it.
That was
Like
well
that.
thrown.
That's
That was
what
beautiful.
that was perfect.
Josiah looks like he's going to kind of go straight out with a putter like I was trying to, and he pulls that shot off beautifully.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yep. That was exactly what you want to do. That's the perfect shot.
Jared here for a long birdie look after some very fortunate tree love.
Nothing wrong with the par from there, having to lean out from quite a bit outside the circle. You got some of that tree to contend with. Oh yeah, nicely done.
Yeah, I was looking at the scores. I knew where we were at. I knew I had to make the last couple birdies if I possibly could, and kind of push.
That's definitely one that you expect to get, so it's one you are probably already had counted on. Josiah just taps out his birdie, so 3 birdies and a par. That's about what you'd expect out of a hole like that.
It did average 50-50. There was, 50% birdie, 50% par, no bogeys.
That's pretty wild when that happens, to actually have 50% pars, 50% birdies. We have a few around here that seem to do that, though. So here's hole 2C. So was the path and beyond OB?
I don't believe it was. I believe the path just played as a river.
Okay. Well, either way, that's not OB. That was a great shot.
It's in the circle.
A little
and
deep, but not too bad.
Dean's going to go with the sidearm here, which would be a much scarier play if it was OB over there.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, he stopped before the rough.
Yeah, that'll give him a long putt, but at least it should be pretty open. That's looking pretty good. Oh, a little shorter than I
He got a
thought.
little bit too much height on it, more than he wanted at least, and it ate some of the distance.
Yeah, I could see that. You know, Jared's wanting to get back on track,
Ooh,
being the only
much.
one that missed the last birdie, so he was really gunning for that one.
No one's really blocked or obstructed for their putt. Ooh.
Oh, okay. Okay,
That was a good bid.
that was. I hate those skips off the top, though. They just seem to keep going. Oh, and a roll.
Another good putt. Didn't deserve the roll away. Good
Okay,
birdie.
Josiah will clean up his birdie. That was a great putt. See if you can do the same. Oh yeah. Great way to get those birdies you were just talking about.
Yes, sir. And that cage on that chain stars is just so shallow.
Ooh.
It's so kind of sketchy to putt on them.
Yeah, that can
compared
be
to what
intimidating.
all the other baskets on the course, you walk up to this one and it looks so small.
So let's see if Dean can clean up. Oh,
Just a bit high.
he was having a really good round too. Other than that, just had a
He's-
couple
he's
unlucky
been up and
breaks
down a
at the
little bit.
beginning, and now at the end.
And now we come to a pretty difficult little hole here on the back. One of the harder, actually, I think it's the hardest hole on the round.
Yeah, I could see it. 'Cause I do believe this one, the path and beyond, is out of bounds
And that's
on
left,
both
right,
sides.
and deep.
And yeah, on all three sides, you're right. And you have to go around a big row of pretty good sized bushes. So this could be a really tricky one.
See, I'm going a sidearm with a PD3 and just kind of attacking that left boundary, expecting it to come back. And it was trying to.
Yeah, it was. That was a great shot. If it had just missed that tree, that had a chance.
Josiah taking something overstable and attacking that right side.
Okay, get off of there.
Oh,
just
rolled in and then rolled back onto the
out.
sidewalk.
Yeah, that right side, the hyzer line is definitely there, but it is tighter than this sidearm line. Ooh.
Oof.
Unless you
Skipped off
saw
the
it
path.
off a little. Yeah, skipped off the path and straight into the out of bounds. I hope he was able to find that one.
I don't think there was any lost ones on this day. Ooh, and he sends it off the other direction. Pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, that's not what you want. So now he's left with this for
For
his
par.
par.
Ooh.
Yep, and the wind is
Ooh.
definitely coming up a little bit. 'Cause he's left himself some work for his bogey.
Jared for his par.
Let's see if he can clean this up. Ooh, just that breeze
He
held
wanted it a
it
bit
up.
too much, I guess. It's easy to get a little overzealous on those
Josiah
points.
trying to save his par. So 3 out of the 4 went
And
out
that
of
was
bounds.
great.
That's just crazy. That is definitely a difficult hole. Oh, and just a little bit of lift there.
A headwind and nose up equals bad putt.
Yeah. Oh, and Dean just
Dean's
wanting
just
to
feeling
get done with
defeated
this
right now,
hole.
you
Yeah.
know.
Okay, cleaned up your par. That was a pretty good round.
Kept it clean. Like to say I completely kept it on the fairway. Probably stroke what you in there,
Still, that was a really good round out there.
but Jared has a good comeback putt to save that bogey from the OB stroke. And Dean taps in his double to end the
Yeah.
round.
So, that one definitely showed its teeth. That hole can really be tricky. But
There's a
we
lot of
got
trees to
you
beat.
sitting at 8 under saying, "What? This ain't that hard. Come on, guys."
It was a good
Josiah
round for
right
me.
on your
Josiah had a
tail.
decent round.
Oh, and it looks like you and Maverick are tied for the lead.
And then a bunch tied at 7 under. A lot of people had a good
What
round.
is that? 5 people tied? Hank Kerwin, Zach, Josiah, Mac Lugo. Tyler. That's quite a list, actually.
And looks like it's going to be me, Mav, Hank, and Zach Meeker for the round 2 coverage. So you guys can come on back and watch another round at the beautiful Romero Disc Golf Park, and we'll see you there.